Hello, literature lovers. Today I want to talk about consciousness, what it is, how it is related to literature, and also psychology. So, when we talk about consciousness, it's the awareness, subjectivity, thinking, feeling. That's all comes in consciousness. And next comes the unconscious, that is the aspect in the mind which is not available in the consciousness. It example, dreams, your habitual pattern, memories which have been forgotten, but it is somewhere in your subconscious mind. And unlike animals, we are aware of our consciousness and we do it. And at simplest can be called some kind of awareness of the internal or external existence. And there are quite analysis can be included the self-awareness, reason, imagination having the harmony that characterizes animal existence. So as humans we are there, so you can see some of the perspective related to it. So now quite familiar definitions are there related to consciousness by Descartes and Nietzsche. Some say I think, and I think therefore I am. So these are some of the aspects related to it. Other definitions are also talking about the internal world in our mind, how it really grows and how our opinions, intuitions, some kind of feelings are there in our mind. That's in synonym with the mind and introspection in the inner life that we are thinking, imagination, volition, experience, awareness of awareness, self awareness. All these aspects are somewhere in that. Let's go into the detail of that. How Freud and then Jung, talk about it. They don't realize we are bringing them the plague. So all these aspects are related to it. Now, talking in detail about the unconscious aspect, which are deriving some of the instincts that someone when try to harm us, we obstruct. It's quite unconscious. Mind sever is there, and we try to achieve, we try to beat someone, succeed. Always we have that feeling inside us. And now talking about the consciousness, which is the awareness and try to please us. And here comes ego, then gaining the reality principle, what infants feel. So there are some kind of psychological aspects related to it. Let's talk about it. Now let's get into the detail of the mind. That there is id, that is the major part, that is the unconscious and irrational part. Now comes ego, that is somewhat organized mental process, varies between consciousness and unconscious mind. And then ego ideal, how we would like to be. So that aspect is there. And next comes the superego, that is largely the unconscious thing, and that produces guilt and inclined with parents, teacher, etc. Now, how Freud talk about it? Now, Freud really a great psychologist, which we are aware of. How in sociology is talk about in society, it changes, and Freud as a psychiatrist really talk about the approaches, how it really self-reflect us or what are the objectives and how we see ourselves and how people see. So later on it really talk about the different complexes which we are aware of. Many complexes we have: shortman complex, tallman complex. So name what, there are so many complexes related to it. George Herbert Mead also talk about I, me. These are some of these quotes which really talk about it, attitude towards us. Not talking about the conscious in the society, race, art, politics. And here we comes about a double consciousness, that is by Du Bois. That is, he talk about that American and Negro and how black people used to, you know, get racist remarks, and it's quite detailed analysis is given here. Andre Breton talk about it and how the under-civilized people are, how the civilization grows, which really talk about the presence, and really they developed some kind of inferiority complex between them in his book Manifesto of Surrealism. And then later on, talking about the revolution of the mind, how we can unlock our dreams and somewhat remove the barriers of the unconscious. All these are discussed here. And later on, some of the political aspects are there. We have political man, economic man, religious man, and how psychological man. All these interlinked with the book. And next comes the Marx, Karl Marx, and Marxism. It's all somewhat related to it, and the world and whose passions lie in the potential collectivity in the archive goals. All these really reflect all these aspects. Now, summaries is given here, and we can talk about the consciousness produced to the self awareness, taking oneself in an object. So, you can summarize all the topics. Do share your views with us. That's all for today. Do subscribe the channel. Share your views in the comment section. Keep reading books. Don't forget, this is the only way of living life. Enrich yourself, discuss it with your friends. Thanks for being part of it. Thank you.